And we are live. Sunday Service, episode number 22. We're almost at that, Jordan. We're almost there. Episode number 22, man. We got some Apex cards, or Apex fights, I should say, to talk about last night. Boy, I was fuming. I was fuming last night. Number one, took a couple L's. More than a couple, I should say. Not my greatest betting night. Wasn't terrible. DFS plays actually was a bright spot. We hit a lot of DFS plays, so happy about that. But overall, some very frustrating fights for me. So maybe this is going to be a bit of a rant session, because a lot of these fighters I'm looking at, I'm like, how the fuck is that your game plan? And I just swore not even 60 seconds into the live. So this is probably getting demonetized. Not that I was going to make a lot of money from this either way. Probably about like $2. But who cares? Who cares? The favorites just continue to print, man. How many fights did we have last night? How many was it? 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11 fights, 9 favorites, 1, man. As a dog better. It's a rough look. It's a rough look. Especially when you're getting split decisions, bro. Split decisions is just, it's brutal because you know you're right there. You know you're right there. Just like in PFL Friday night. I had a Kai Kamaka split decision. He's right there, but he's a plus 265 underdog. That's the correct bet to make. We just can't get it to fall through sometimes. Did hit GM3 as the underdog, though. I will say that. That was big. Shout out to GM3. Love that man. Just battled back, took his beating, gassed him out, and took over. We'll talk about that later. V in the X chat. What's up, Joshua Allen? Rough night. Back to the drawing board. We're in the lab the entire day and last night. Researching Dana White Contender Series. So happy about that. I feel good about this weekend on Dana White Contender Series, but that's another spot where the favorites are just printed. Favorites are 9-1 in the Contender Series. When has that ever happened? Because that's usually, dog city. But favorites are coming through. Anthony Omar, what's up, brother? In the YouTube chat. We got the IG chat popping off. We got the YouTube chat in here. We got the X chat, formerly Twitter. My barber's in the IG chat. What up, Daniel? Going to be seeing you real soon. We're growing. It's growing, so I'll be back there pretty soon. Get my bald head back in there, and we can be feeling clean once again. Dodger in the chat. Overs were pumping. Bro, overs have been just absolutely insane. Every time I play an under now, I'm like clenching my cheeks because I'm like, is it the new gloves? I don't know what it is. Daniel in the YouTube chat. What's up, brother? What's good, my G? Should do road to the UFC. Bro, it's so tough for me to look at those Japanese prospects and really try to figure out who's who. Because they all look the same, brother. I ain't gonna lie. They all look the same. They all fight the same. And it's just not a spot that I really like to bet. So, not me, but maybe in the future we'll see. Plus, there's just so much stuff going on. It's like, do I really want to bet on road to UFC? Probably not. What up, Paul? How we doing? Got to start highlighting these chats. Another Sunday service in the books. Let's do it, brother. Let's do it. We're kicking it off. Connor, get out of here, bro. I'm kidding. Love you, Connor. Usually in here. Appreciate that. Even if you think Johnny Bones is the pound for pound number 1, I'll still have you in here. I went from Caio sucks, he's going to lose to a 40-year-old, to he's next for the title. Let me correct you here, JJ. Let me correct you. What I did never came out of my mouth saying that Caio sucks. I just said he hasn't really impressed me. But last night, he impressed me. Why? Because he finally trusted himself. He trusted himself enough to go out there and have a striking match with Jared Cannonier. And I got to respect that. And he looked really good. So I never said he sucks. I actually said he was a great fighter. He's been winning. He wins fights. But I just haven't been super impressed because he hasn't really been getting finishes. And the guys that he is finishing, he's finishing dudes like Paul Craig, who gets knocked out all the time, and Ola Shaychik, who gets subbed all the time. Now, he didn't get a finish last night, but he should have got one. It definitely should have been a knockout, 5th round knockout. No doubt about it. That should have been a 5th round knockout. So in my eyes, that was a knockout. And the fact that he did it in the 5th says a lot about it. So shout out to Caio Borralho. We'll have more on him later in the show. I want to get through some of these chats so we can hop into the recap, talk about the fights. I'll give my rants, and we could talk about some future matchups if anything stands out. Can't believe Dan didn't stop the Caio fight in round 5. Still cash, though. Can't complain. Yeah, bro. If you had a Caio by knockout or a Caio inside the distance, I bet you were just fuming. I bet you were fuming. Because I would have been fuming. I'm glad I didn't have that. Because if that happened, if that happened, I probably would have punched a hole in my TV. I was debating making a YouTube video of me just ranting after the fights. But I thought, I might edge a little bit. How about I sleep on it? And we can talk about it on Sunday Service. Now that we're talking about it, I'm getting some of these feelings back. These feelings back that really pissed me off last night. Really pissed me off. What kind of music do I listen to? Oh, God. Mostly rap. I don't know. I don't really listen to music all that often anymore unless I'm like in the car or something. But rap, hip hop, the goods. 307 looks amazing. It actually does look very good. I will say that. Robert Hamzat. Here we go, Connor. Robert Hamzat. We're really beating off the path here. I'm gonna go with Rob. Just because I would love to see Hamzat lose. It's a disgrace. Mozart versus Sterling is on the prelims now, and it's not even the feature prelim. It's on the prelims? No way. No way that's on the prelims. If that's on the prelims, and the UFC must really hate Evloev and Aljamain Sterling, because holy that's a good fight. Even though you know it's probably going to go to a decision, still a good fight. High-level fight. Caio versus Adesanya is the fight to make. Turbo Club, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. I'm so with you. It makes all the sense in the world. Let's talk about it. So we'll start with the recap with the main event. Caio Borralho shot one takedown the entire fight, and it wasn't even a takedown. And he beat the piss out of Jared Cannonier. Now, honestly, I think he kind of let it slip away a little bit because for the most part, he was dominating a lot of the exchanges. And he looked really sharp. A lot of heavy low kicks, solid hands, solid jab. And he's a big dude. Big fucker in there. Holy shit. He looked much bigger than Jared Cannonier. His head looks like the size of like 4 watermelons, bro. Like those, it's so fucking big. I don't think the guy can be knocked out. Big dude. Hits fairly hard. At least you hear the impact. It feels thudding. I thought he won round 1. I thought Cannonier won round 2. I thought Caio definitely won round 3. Nearly knocked him out there towards the end of round 3. And then personally, I thought Cannonier won round 4. But I could see it the other way. So I thought it was 2-2 going into the 5th. Winner takes it all. And it's kind of back and forth. And then bang, that 1-2 down the middle from Caio. Knocked the snot out of Cannonier. Should have been a knockout. Either way, Caio wins. And yeah, he's going to be top 5 middleweight in the world come, tomorrow? No, Tuesday. This is Sunday Service. Come Tuesday when they update the rankings, he's going to be top 5 middleweight in the world. And you look at the rankings right now, Who's above him? You got Dricus as the champ. You got Strickland. You got Adesanya. You got Whitaker. You got Imavov. Imavov's got to fight. Whitaker's got to fight. Strickland's waiting for the next title shot. Now, could the UFC just say, you know what, Strickland? You've already had your chance. Let's throw Caio Borralho in there because he really impressed us last night. He impressed me. And I wouldn't be shocked if they give him the next title shot, but I don't think they're going to. I think they're still going to make the Dricus versus Strickland fight, or possibly Dricus versus Pereira. So who's the next matchup for Caio? I think you got to do Caio Borralho, Israel Adesanya. And last week, I sat here and I said, he's in a weird spot. He's in a weird spot because there's no real contenders at middleweight. And I mentioned the fights that were coming up. This one, Imavov, Allen, Whitaker, Hamzat. And I'm like, unless one of them makes some big statement, then he doesn't really got a good fight. But I think after last night, Caio Borralho made a fucking statement, bro. He made a statement, and I think it would be a sick matchup to see Caio Borralho and Israel Adesanya go at it. I think it makes all the sense in the world. Let me know in the chat if you agree, because I know Turbo already agrees. But Caio Borralho, Israel Adesanya, that makes sense to me, bro. It makes a lot of sense to me. I could see it happening. It's just a matter if Izzy wants to take that fight, because that's a tough fight. That's a real tough fight against a guy who's still making his name, not a guy that has a set in stone name. So we'll see. James got robbed last night. You're talking about Long Top? I wouldn't say he got robbed. I think Caio with the number 5 next to his name deserves that fight. I agree. Why do I dislike Hamzat? Because he's pulled out of so many fights. Says he's going to fight everybody out there. Like literally after every champion defends their belt, whether it's from welterweight, middleweight, light heavyweight, he says he's going to, he's coming soon. Obviously not. And if he is scheduled to fight, he's probably going to pull out. So there's a lot to dislike, I would say, on the Hamzat side. Now, I'm not saying I dislike the way he fights because it's pretty exciting, but I just dislike the way that he goes about things. Just how bad is Mike Malott losing to Magny by TKO? Michael only needed 1 round. Let's just say there's a big difference between Mike Malott and Michael Morales. A wide gap. And, yeah. That's all you need to say. There's a wide gap. See, Hamzat getting slapped in the first 5-round fight. Round 3, his defense is completely gone. I could see that. Fighting nerds are turning out really good talent out of Brazil. Fighting nerds are crazy, bro. Just to think, you got Caio, you got John Silva, you got Carlos Prates, you got Mauricio Rufy. Those guys are all undefeated in the UFC, I believe. And they've looked amazing in all of their fights. They've looked damn near untouchable in all of their fights. So they're crazy. They're crazy good. And kind of different styles too. Very different ways of striking. And they all just flow together. It's very weird. Jean Silva's like a power punching explosive guy. Not a ton of volume. Prates is a little bit more traditional in his stances, long, uses his kicks, uses his 1-2s, very accurate, not a very explosive guy like a John Silva. Caio Borralho, karate style stance, great jab, great low kicks, not a very explosive guy, not a huge power puncher. And then you got Rufy, who's so dynamic. Movement is off the charts, mixes in all this crazy stuff. John Silva kind of does too. But Rufy's fast as shit. They're all different, but they're all very good. You tailed me last night and lost $125. I suck. Don't tell me then, brother. It's pretty simple. Rank the fighting nerds guys. That's a good comment. Ranking the fighting nerds guys. Huh. I think you got to put Caio at 1 because he has the grappling upside. Probably, he's definitely not the best striker out of them, but I still think you have to put him at 1 because he has the grappling upside and he just put on a great performance striking. So you know it's in the bag. That's kind of what I was waiting to see. Him to look elite as a striker. He looked really good last night. So I got to put him at 1. I got to put Caio Baileya at 1. Then I'm going to put Prates at 2. Jean Silva at 3. Mauricio Rufy at 4. But to put Mauricio Rufy at 4, that seems like disrespectful. But I think Rufy could. He's only had one UFC fight, so I think eventually he could, eclipse them pretty easily. But from what we've seen from the other guys against higher level competition, I don't think you could put him up there yet. Let me just say that. Rufy at 4 is no disrespect to Rufy because Rufy's a fucking stud. But you got to rank the other guys, and I think Jean Silva's an absolute stud. Knocked out Drew Dober, bro. Drew Dober is like a fringe top 15 guy. Carlos Prates knocked out Li Jingliang clean, and Li Jingliang was a fringe top 15 guy. Did coming off the layoff, but like still made it look easy. But I think Rufy, you give him 1 or 2 more fights, he'll be cracking into the top 15 as well. That's just crazy. That's crazy, Rope Lord. You and all the judges, man. You and all the judges. So let's talk about that. Co-main event. Tabitha Ricci, Angela Hill, bro. I was ready to throw the fucking remote through the TV last night, bro. How many fucking Tabitha Ricci Glazers do we got in here? Huh? Please let it be known. Because I'm really, every time I see her fight, it makes me not like her even more. Because I don't think this chick has any type of skill. If you watch that fight, the only way that she won was forward pressure, cardio, and just going. Like she's literally Merab Dvalishvili with none of the takedowns and not even like a 50% of the striking that Merab has. All she did was run at Angela Hill, just run at her, throw these little arm punches. There's nothing behind him. There's no load up. There's no actual power behind him. They're just these arm punches out there where she's trying to close the distance to get into the clinch, and then she couldn't even get many takedowns. Officially, it says she went 3 out of 4 on takedowns, but she was holding her up against the cage, trying to look for an opportunity to get a takedown, and it was rarely there. And then it goes to a decision, and the judges just going to give it to her. And I've been saying this all week. If it goes to a decision, they're just going to give it to Tabitha Ricci. So why didn't I bet it, man? Why didn't I bet it? Because part of me looks at these fighters and I say, Angela Hill's the better fighter. I can't just take the worst fighter basing it off the judges are going to give her the decision. And I was right. I still didn't bet it. Pissed, bro. Pissed. Tabitha Ricci is not good. She's not. She just runs at you with these arm punches. I don't even think they landed. They're not even real punches. She's just throwing her arms out there, like trying to reach you. I don't understand it. I don't understand how she just keeps getting by these chicks because the judges will just give her the decision. They're just going to give her the decision. That's what it is at the end of the day. They don't care. They're just sitting there with their boners in their hand, and they're like, 10-9, Ricci. Yeah, 10-9, Ricci. Oh, shit. She might lose this fight if I don't give her this round. And, I can't do that. I can't do that because, if there's a possibility that, we ever see each other, I don't want her to know that I scored the fight against her type of thing. So dumb, bro. I don't get it. I'm not impressed with her either. I don't get how she's I know how she's winning these fights because the decisions are made by the judges, but I don't know. It's just pace. It's pure aggression. Because I thought Angela Hill was landing a lot better shots. Those knees to the body are pretty damaging. She was landing a lot cleaner punches because Tabitha wasn't landing anything clean. Nothing. Just forward pressure, throw her up against the cage, show off the cheeks, and hope the judges see that and like it, and they'll give you a 10-9. I really hope that they give her like Amanda Lemos, and Lemos just stands there, waits for her to rush in, and just counter right fucking knocks her out, bro. I hope so. I can't see how this girl should be, top 10 in the UFC. How'd you know that's how I scored it? Because I know, brother. I know how males think. Because believe it or not, I am the male. Do you think Izzy even cares anymore? Or do you think he's truly getting beat by this new talent? I think it's a combination of both. But mostly he's just getting beat by the new talent. Because I think at a certain point, when you've been champion for that long, you make that kind of money. He's been a champion for a long time. He's been getting paid good money for a long time. Yes, you could be motivated to go in there and get a win. You could be motivated to train your hardest, to be in the best shape. But when it actually comes down to it, you're in that cage. There's a certain different type of hunger when you haven't been champion for that long, when you haven't been making that type of money for that long. And I think that's where you see the doesn't care anymore, like narrative. I don't think he just doesn't need it as much. He doesn't need it. He wants it, but he doesn't need it as much. Hill, except she didn't. It was a brutal robbery. I wouldn't really call it a robbery, but it's just like, I thought Hill should have won the fight. Did you think the Santos fight was an early stoppage? Yeah, I thought that was a pretty early stoppage. I think Ofli might have battled back. Yeah, I think he probably would have battled back there. Got up off his knees, and came back. Should we talk about that? Because I got another rant about that fight, man. Fucking pissed about that fight. So Myron Santos and Con Ofli. First of all, Myron Santos cheated. He cheated on the scales. He weighed in with half of his foot off of the scale. They had the curtain out there. He cheated. He did not make weight fairly. He goes in there weighing like 175 pounds and then doesn't really make any probably wouldn't make a difference. Con Ofli, brother. What the fuck are you doing? Con Ofli is a wrestler, right? He's a wrestler. I don't know what the fuck his game plan was. His game plan, from what I saw last night, was to stand at range, get kicked, throw him up against the cage, not actually shoot a takedown, but just hold him up against the cage. And then when all that fails, rush in, and get fucking clipped. What type of game plan is that, bro? What type of, like, you're the undersized guy. You're not the better striker. Why would you stand at kicking range when you know Myron Santos is a good kicker? You got to be in or out. You got to be in or out. And when you shoot these takedowns, you're going up against a taller guy. Why are you looking for chest to chest, body lock takedowns? You got to be going for legs. The guy, officially, I don't even think he shot an official takedown. All he did was clinch him up against the cage. You're a jiu-jitsu guy. You're a wrestler. What are you doing? And then he's just like, all right, fuck it. I'm losing. I'm going to just rush in with these hooks. He got fucking slumped. So, Con Ofli, major L. Major L for Con Ofli. Recovered from being asleep on his knees. Bro, I'm actually like kind of glad. Kind of glad because maybe that'll make him come into a fight with a better game plan. Thank you for the donation, Rigo's mom. Thank you. But yeah, bro, he got slept flat out on his knees. That should have been a walk-off KO. I know Myron Santos was probably so hyped that he landed that. He's like, just got this massive adrenaline rush and wanted to put it on him more. But if he would have walked that off, that would have looked so sick. GM3 versus Ryan Loader. Hell no, bro. We got to make GM3 versus Paul Craig. GM3 versus Paul Craig is the fight to make, bro. He called him out. That makes all the sense in the world. Who wouldn't want to see that? GM3 versus Paul Craig? That'd be sick. Plus, Ryan Loader. Can't wait to watch that guy sniff crotch for the next 3 to 4 years. It's going to be awesome, guys. Shout out to the Ultimate Fighter winner, Ryan Loader. Good performance from him. Got to win. Shout out to him. I mean, 33 coming into the UFC. Should be a real force to be reckoned with. What's up? I was just checking your Dana White Contender Series picks. Yeah, just broke that down earlier today. Video's up. Go check it out. Haven't made any bets yet, but I'm eyeing some spots. Bro, that was literally Aaron Blanchfield striking. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. Santos got some nice back of the head shots. Just for good measure. Just for good measure, you know, sleep him out cold onto his knees and then punch him in the back of the head just to make sure you got him. GM3 Paul Craig, bro. I'm telling you, that's a banger. That's a banger. It's got to happen. Rigo's mom, thank you for the donation again. Thoughts on Till versus MMA Guru? You got winner. Is that actually going to happen? Or is that just a meme? I don't even know. I saw that the Guru did like an interview with Till or whatever. Like, are they actually going to fight? Are they actually like, going to meet up? Please let me know in the chat. Because I would love to know if that's actually a real thing. But I probably don't have the winner because I don't think either of them would fight me. I don't know why they would. Because I'd probably sleep them both. And they don't want that smoke. Let's just say that. Got rid of one crotch sniffer Makayev. Now we got Ryan Loader, baby. Let's go, Steve. Let's go. Early prediction, Burns versus Brady. Okay, Omar. Not Umar. Omar. Burns versus Brady. Dude, I honestly don't know. Obviously, Gilbert's our guy. So I'm Team Gilbert. Definitely want Gilbert to win. But I would say it is a tough matchup. Because Sean Brady has really solid wrestling, really solid jiu-jitsu, and obviously that's kind of Gilbert's mainstay. But on the feet, I think Gilbert might be the better striker. So there's pros and cons. I would probably say if Gilbert does win, it might be by KO. So I'll say early prediction, Gilbert Burns KO. But I actually got to watch a lot more film on that. We got a week off this Saturday, so definitely going to be in the lab this week. MMA Guru, we're going to take him down early. Shoot that double leg. Darren Till can't stuff shit, so Bet Shabazi in round 1 KO on GM3. What a mistake. Your picks have been on fire, though, lately, bro. Keep it up. Well, actually, Michael, last week we lost a little bit, but I appreciate the shouts on the GM3 pick because that one was a greasy one, but we got that one done. Shout out to GM3. Love that guy. MMA Guru has 0 grappling experience. It doesn't matter, bro. Maybe you even if you have no wrestling, grappling experience, you could probably still land a double leg on there until Steve Garcia round 1 KO. I kind of hope so, man. I love me some Steve Garcia, but that fight kind of scares me a little bit for him. He's on a crazy streak, and eventually that streak's got to stop. So we'll see. Early predictions for Marab and Sugar Sean. I think I gotta go Sugar Sean, but I'm kind of missing the boat because a lot of money's coming in on Sean O'Malley, and it's basically a pick 'em now. So that kind of sucks. But he was an underdog. Wish I would have bet it back then, you know? Kind of pissed. Missed the boat. All right, we talked about Ryan Loder. We talked about Con Ofli's terrible game plan. Pissed about that. Michael Morales. Finally, you know, somebody breaks through the Neil Magny chain. I guess Ian Gary did too, but for once, somebody actually finishes Neil Magny, you know, finish him off. Shavkat did, I guess. Gilbert did, but he was already established. Michael Morales, round 1 KO. I think that's a solid win for him to crack into the rankings, but does it really mean anything is kind of the question I have. Like, does it really mean anything? It was Neil Magny. He was like a minus 1,000 favorite. So he's kind of supposed to do that. Now, personally, I don't know who they're going to match up Michael Morales with next because I don't know who's going to want to take that fight. And there's a lot of fights being made in welterweight right now. And who knows what they're going to try to do with him. 17-0, undefeated. Good prospect. Good contender, I should say now. And we'll see. I think you could probably match him up with like the loser of Wonder Boy and Joaquin Buckley. I think that would make sense because that fight's happening in October, I think, beginning of October. So that would make sense to me. You know, they're just going to give Neil Magny like the next contender anyway. So it doesn't really matter what I say about Neil. Ian Gary is a decision machine. Oh God, computers tweaking, computers lagging. I'm going to let that refresh. There we go. James, what's going on, brother? Shama. Shavkat going to mincemeat Bilal before that happens, but Leon wouldn't lose to Bilal again. Leon would lose to Bilal again. Hate to break it to you, Rigos, however you say it, but it's a bad matchup for Leon. Shows how he can defend the clinch. He did that pretty well. You guys must be talking about something different, bro. What's next for Cannonier? Well, Cannonier's career is pretty much over. I guess you could probably give him Roman Dolidze or somebody. A matchup that's, you know, somewhat winnable, I should say. But his career's over. His career's fucking over. He's 40. He's coming off back-to-back losses. Should have been back-to-back knockout losses. Yada da. MK Icon in the IG chat. Thoughts on Holloway versus Topuria? I think Topuria sleeps him. Might be a hot take, might not be, but I think Topuria sleeps him. Because I think Topuria is the better boxer. And that could be a hot take, but I think he is. I think he's the more dangerous boxer. I think he's got the grappling to fall back on. I think Topuria gets it done, and I think he could knock him out. You might have heard it here first. Maybe not, but I think he does. We talked about GM3, the GOAT. Francis Marshall, Dennis Bazukia. Not much to say on that one, other than that was a solid fight. The GOAT, Jose Medina, getting it done against Zach Reese if you're living in La La Land, Jose Medina got his fucking head slapped. He got his head slapped harder than Matty Betts and I walking into the casino, bro. This guy, I don't know how this guy shouldn't be in the UFC. And the weirdest part about it is Jose Medina literally got a contract because he was tough. He lost all 3 rounds, but survived on the Contender Series. So he gets a contract, moves down in weight. And literally, all he did against Zach Reese is the same shit that he did on the Contender Series, was take an absurd amount of punishment and just kind of like laugh it off. So this guy's literally in the UFC as a professional punching bag. This is what the UFC wants to put on. All right, here's Jose Medina. Let's look at his highlights. It's just him getting fucking clipped in the face, ripped to the body, thrown on the ground. Like, that's his highlight tape? Are we serious? The guy literally couldn't hurt anything. Like, Jose Medina couldn't hurt a fucking fly. The punches he was throwing looks like he may have like a couple days of cardio kickboxing training. Like, I didn't see much form. I didn't see much heat behind him. Did land a takedown. Whew. There's an improvement, I guess, we could look at. But Zach Reese beat the shit out of him. And, Zach Reese is a decent fighter. And it was actually good to see him go 15 minutes. He made it 15 minutes. But then again, it's against Jose Medina, who's just a punching bag. So, yeah. He's not sleeping max, but I think he 49, 46 is him. I could see it. If you had 24 hours with Hasbulla and he couldn't say, what the fuck kind of question is that, dog? That sounds like some freaky shit. I'm going to answer in that. Hazi's my boy, but that was wild. Zach Reese got gassed in that third, though. He kind of did. But he still won. This guy talks a lot of shit to not be in the UFC himself. Troy Taylor. You can talk shit all the fuck you want, dude. You got a problem? Meet me in the ring, brother. Meet me in the ring, brother, if you got a problem. What am I going to go? Am I going to come on here and not give my opinions? Isn't that what the fucking viewers want? You want to come in here and hear my opinion. Otherwise, why else would you be in here? So I'm going to give you my opinion. You might think of it as shit talking, but it's my opinion. And sometimes it's the God honest truth. Jose Medina and Jeff Molina can take punishment. All right, we're getting into it now. We're getting into it now, boys. Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. Low-key feel Ortega will shine here. Absolutely not. Diego Lopez by absolute schmurder. Absolute schmurder. Is it a 3-rounder or a 5-rounder? 5-rounder might change the scenario. But I think it's a 3-rounder. But if it's not, let me know. 5-rounder does change it a little bit. Definitely check Fred's hard drive. Wild stuff from Fred. Not going to lie, was not expecting that. Kayla Harrison, how many fights do you think it will take her to get a title shot? If she wins her next fight, she's getting a title shot. No doubt. No doubt. Yesterday was a good day of fights, James. Some pretty solid fights. Solid performances. Gotta love it. There was like 4 or 5 fight of the nights. I think you could have made Borshev Lawn Top a fight of the night. You could have made Marshall Bazooka a fight of the night. You could have made Ricci Hill fight of the night. You could have made the main event the fight of the night, which was the fight of the night. So yeah, easily could have made 4 of them. Blood thinks he's tough. Troy, speak again. I'll put you in that chokehold. Dude's got the Rizzler. The Rizzler is his profile picture. Holy shit. Volkov versus Cyril Gane. Volkov a plus 200 dog. That's very tempting. I know he lost to Gane before, but I think he could make some adjustments. Go in there. He's been more active. I think he could win. Diego Lopez is what Brian Ortega thinks he is. Kind of facts. Much more explosive athlete, younger. Rigo's mom. Hugh Hope with DDP winnings. You bought Sphere tickets. I have not. Thank you for the donation, but unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to go. I was kind of thinking about splurging and going to the Sphere, but I got a kid on the way in October, and I don't want to be out of state 6 hours away from a 6-hour flight away for the possibility that the kid comes earlier than expected. So I'm not going to travel out of state until the baby gets here. So unfortunately, I will not be going to the Sphere. But I'm going to go all out for it, man. I'm going to lay some crazy bets. That's for sure. I put in a parlay already. I put in a parlay after I won the money on DDP. I put in a parlay for like 250 to win like 12,000 or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to go crazy for it, though. It should be sick. Jared fight should have been stopped. Was out cold. Yes, I agree. South African living in the U.S. Love seeing the DDP shirt. Really glad it made you a lot of money. DDP has become my favorite fighter. But I will say this, Nico. It's going to pain me. It's going to pain me so much. But there's going to be a day where I have to fade Dricus du Plessis. There's going to be a day. Once I see that matchup, or maybe once I see that time where Dricus is slowing down a little bit, there's going to be a day where I got to fade him. But for now, that's my guy. He's made me a ton of money. Got to love him. I hope one day I can beat him. I hope one day I can meet him because he seems like a cool dude as well. And shout out to South Africa. Please stop sharing your opinions. Hey, that's what we're here for, brother. I know you're just joking, Paul. What's the best website to watch old UFC, PFL, Bellator, Contender Series, etc. fights to do research for bets? I use UFC Fight Pass, YouTube, and ESPN Plus. Pretty simple. Appreciate that, Justin. Appreciate that, Christopher. Thank you for the dono, Rigos. Congrats. Child being named Shama minus 100. No, but I think maybe if we get a dog, you get another dog. I feel like you can't name a kid that. But maybe a dog. You can maybe name your dog Shama. That makes sense. Grasso, Diego, and Aldana parlay. I think they might be in my parlay. I'm not going to lie. Actually, let me look at this. I put this shit in, honestly, without any research. I just looked at that shit. 250 to win 10,000. I took Edgar Shirez, Manuel Torres, Raul Rosas Jr., Luis Rodriguez, Diego Lopez, Alexa Grasso, and Sean O'Malley. So that's a 7-leg parlay. I put 250 to win 10,000. That was just some shit I threw in there because I had a bunch of money in my account. I'm not gonna lie. Would not recommend tailing because that should be pretty hard to get. But I just saw it and I'm like, I want something for the Sphere. Get it in early, lock it in. That's what it is. Diego could gas out, but it's a 3-rounder, isn't it? He might not win a UFC belt. Winning UFC belt is really tough, especially when Topuria is the champion. Like you can't discount that. You got to beat Topuria to be champion. Middle name du Plessis of my child? Probably not. Probably not. Sorry, brother. Roundtree or Poetan? You got to go Poetan, brother. Sorry, brother. You got to go Poetan. We haven't even talked about my girl Josiane, bro. My girl Josie Nunez. She put on for the city. Let me tell you that. So if you didn't know, the last second I made that video about fading the public. Put money on Josiane Nunez by her money line and her decision to win like 3,000. And it went to a split, man. She won 30-27 on one of the judges' scorecards, and a lot of people are saying that judge needs to be escorted. But, bro, Josiane Nunez is the one pushing the pressure the entire time. She's the one going for it. Cavalcanti's landed leg kicks. She's landing these little jabs. She landed a couple nice uppercuts. For the most part, Josiane Nunez is the one landing the better punches. And Jacqueline Cavalcanti stopped the fight when she got punched in the eye. She got punched in the eye, and she stopped the fight claiming an eye poke. That screwed all the momentum. That could have changed the entire fight. I don't care what anyone says. I'm taking Nunez at plus 200 there all day. And I know a lot of you probably had Cavalcanti in your parlays, and you won. Congrats. But I would warn you in the future to not be laying minus 260 chalk on a girl's second UFC fight, women's bantamweight division, who's generally a point fighter. Let me just caution you for the future, because it worked out this time. But next time, that split decision might be on the other end, and we might be cashing our ticket. So, congrats, but just keep that in the back of your mind. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Walmart Andrade. Andrade. I don't even know if that's Walmart Andrade. That might be, what, Temu Andrade? Temu's got to be a step down from Walmart. Because she ain't even close to Andrade. Who are we going off in the chat here? Come on. Nunez does have awful IQ. She just goes for it. She just goes for it. Anyone can walk back for 15 minutes and she got knocked down. If Nunez was attractive, they would give it to her. Facts, Cyrus. Facts. Caio's a grappler. He did that to Cannonier just striking. That is true. Dude, that sucked. That sucked big time. When she let her up, I was like, dude, at least be throwing like ground and pound at her. She literally just let her up. It was a bad look. Bad look. It was a winnable fight, though. Winnable fight. Super high on Natalia Silva, but Andrade could be a bad matchup for her if she can get a hold of her. What do you think? Will Natalia piece her up from the outside, or will Andrade smash? My concern for Natalia Silva is just what her money line price is at. I think she probably wins, and I could actually see her knocking out Andrade. But if Andrade can make it a dogfight, then she's got a great chance. But like from the outside, Natalia Silva is a lot better. She's a lot better. She's strong, and I think she should probably win. But if Andrade can get it on the inside, make her uncomfortable, then it could get a little bit sketchy for Natalia Silva. But I'm high on her too. Kong Wang. Shout out the Wang gang. The Wang gang getting it done. Round 1 KO, 62 seconds into the fight. They got to book her against Valentina Shevchenko, bro. That's just what it comes down to. Wang gang all day. Bang, bang, Wang gang. Victoria Leonardo was snoozing on the canvas. Wang gang, headshot, dead. The Joker, she called that shit. Give her Valentina Shevchenko after Alexa Grasso beats her again. And that's a matchup we can all look forward to. It's the Poatan versus Izzy story all over. We need something to get the women's fights exciting. And Kong Wang is that thing. Kong Wang is that thing. Because for number one, she's got the craziest fucking name I've ever seen. Wang Kong? Wang Kong. Sounds like Wang got off. Kong Wang? Like Long Wang? Like, what are we talking about here? And I know on the broadcast they were saying Wong Tong. That's fucking cat. How the hell are you gonna look at her name and say Wong Tong? They're probably just, trying to get in the good graces with ESPN Plus, but that's Kong Wang or Wang Kong, whichever one you want to put first, but that is definitely Wang. That ain't Tong. That's fucking Wang, bro. Wang starches most of the 125ers. She'll be in the rankings very quickly. There's just a difference. When you see strikers like that in women's MMA, they're going to go far. Because number one, a lot of women are just not athletic. They're just not. Okay, a lot of women are just not gifted athletically. They don't have the explosiveness. They don't have the power like that. And when you see a woman with that type of physicality, like a Zhang Wei Li, then you look and you say, okay, this is a girl that's going to be up there with the best of them very quickly. Kong Wang is that chick, bro. Kong Wang is that chick. Wang gang, bang, bang, Wang gang. Who's with me on the Wang gang? All day. She is a flyweight, not a strawweight. But either way, flyweight, you don't really see that too often either. Have you ever seen Wang on the ground yet, though? She got a submission her last fight. Her last fight, the girl tried to take her down. She caught her in the guillotine, mounted her, and got the submission. So, somewhat, yes, but not at the highest level. Oh, GM3 versus Paul Craig. Who's winning? Give me GM3, bro. Give me GM3. Kong Wang will get smudged decisions by some oralist NPC. Hell nah. Hell nah. I love when people call out fighters NPCs, though. That's funny as fuck. Because there are some NPC fighters, like, no doubt. Victoria Leonardo might be an NPC. So she slept in NPC. 1-0 against NPCs. Didn't know she beat Shevchenko in kickboxing? Yeah, bro. They got to make that fight. They got to make it. It's a fight to make. Bang Bang Wang Gang's going to be calling for it, no doubt. No doubt. O'Malley by knockout. If he wins, it's probably by knockout. And I think he will probably win. It sucks there's no UFC this weekend, man. It really does. But we still got Contender Series on Tuesday. So that's a nice little addition. We don't got nothing this week. Contender Series should be some good fights. Broke them down already on the YouTube channel. Make sure you check that out. Going to put in some bets maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But I got some leans. And hopefully some dogs start coming through because these favorites just keep cashing. I'm just not a fan, bro. I need something to fucking fire me up, you know? We got NFL starting too. Burns fight is September 7th. That is correct. Do we have Power Slap? Is there Power Slap this Friday or Saturday? If there is Power Slap, I will probably be betting on it. I won't be proud of it, but I will probably be betting on it. And I will probably be watching. I'm not going to lie. Kavanaugh already got a fight booked for this UFC debut. Yeah, Kavanaugh's a beast. O'Malley as an underdog is free. The odds maker must think a wrestler is automatically a bad matchup for a striker. You know what I was thinking? There's not a lot of wrestlers that be dominating very often. There's just not. Other than a Bilal Muhammad. I don't really see a lot of these striker versus grappler matchups going well for the grappler. So we'll see. The tough version of Power Slap, not a pay-per-view. I'll take a look at it. I agree, Rigos. O'Malley's footwork is fucking amazing. I think he could probably dance around him, land a big shot, or two. Maybe you could just outpoint him for 3 out of 5 rounds. But I also think he could land a big blow because Merab's been hurt in a lot of fights. So if O'Malley's the one dishing that out, I could see it going pretty poorly for Merab. Oh, Movzar versus Aljo. Who do I got? I think Movzar. I think Movzar because Aljo's a bit older. He's not gonna have a big size advantage like he usually does at 135. Movzar is an insane wrestler, solid striking, great cardio. Movzar by decision. That's probably what it comes down to, man. I think I'm gonna go with Movzar. Most likely. When is that fight again? October? I haven't seen any odds for it, but I would expect Movzar to be a favorite. Merab can be rocked for sure. Marias had him bad. Henry did it too in the first. Yeah, it's that left hook he keeps getting hit with. Merab can't close distance or control for shit, so I don't think he can even use his free cardio. Well, yes and no. Like, the thing with Merab's free cardio is that he uses it to tire out his other opponents, and he uses it to not allow them to get in a rhythm or get reads. Like what he did to Piotr Jan was literally just try to maul him like a fucking tiger for 5 rounds. And whenever he would get away, just get back to mauling him. So Piotr Jan had no room to fucking breathe. He had no room to even try to find a way to land a shot. And he got tired in the process. So he had no explosiveness. He had no power. So there's a path for Merab, but I think O'Malley's, for one, bigger, longer, better footwork. Maybe not as good of takedown defense, but I think he can damage up Merab a little bit more, if not knock him out. You got O'Malley, Lopez, Zellhuber. Just don't know with Torres or Bahamondes. I lean Torres, but I haven't really looked at it too much. But I just think Manuel Torres is a stud. An absolute stud. We pretty much recapped the entire card. We didn't talk about Borshev and Lontop, but who really gives a shit, man? Who really gives a shit? If you got Sugar at plus 140 on DraftKings early, I'm so jealous. I will buy that ticket from you, bro. Straight up. If you want out of it, I'll buy it. This is the problem. If he doesn't hurt him early, he could just get drowned. I agree with you. I agree with you, Mr. Toad. Jan is more of an inside striker than O'Malley, so he has a more favorable matchup, no doubt. Paul, sharp as fuck as always. Sugar at plus 130. That's crazy. I wish I got that too. I'm pissed I waited like a peasant. And I'll probably have to pay fucking chalk, but it is what it is. Maybe we just take the KO prop. We'll see. Is there any way? Let me ask you this. Is there any way that Sean could get a submission? Is there any way? Because let's just think about this. If Merab's going to be shooting those takedowns, maybe O'Malley stuns him with like a knee, and Merab is almost out cold, but he's like still trying to grab legs, and O'Malley just snatches the neck. Is there any way? I would love to see the odds when they come out. Just Daniel in the IG chat. Yes, I can see your message, brother. Marab by whatever he wants. Bet the house on it, fellas. Wow. Jay Thacker coming in with the heat, brother. If O'Malley working on his jiu-jitsu and wrestling, but nah. I think he's always working on it. Sean knows how, bro. Sean guillotine. Who is it? Who did he guillotine in like a grappling match? Sean O'Malley grappling match. He guillotined somebody. He's got a nasty guillotine. He really does. Yeah, he guillotined Takanori Gomi in a grappling match, bro. And I know Takanori Gomi ain't like the greatest grappler out there, but it was still impressive. Okay? It was still impressive. I think he's got the ability to throw a guillotine in there. You never know. He's going to be homeless. Let's say O'Malley has a submission advantage, but he'll probably use them more to create scramble and get up. Sharp, Mr. Toad. No doubt about it. Thank you for the dono again, Rigos. Marab going to shoot desperate takedowns and get darsed. Woo! The Darce choke. Coming in with the little curveball there, Rigos. The Darce choke. I don't know if he's going to get Darce, but I could see a gilly. Like a high elbow gilly, maybe a ninja choke. We'll see, but you never know. Sugar by Gilly, DDP would be proud. It's not DDP, but it is. I guess it could be. Dustin, Diamond, Poirier. But DP, most commonly known. But I see you, James. O'Malley is Dana White favorite. Stop it, guys. Contender Series. Stop it? What does that mean? The Gilly Goose gang ain't taking applications. Shout out the Gilly Goose gang. Did we have any guillotines last week? I don't think so. I love me a guillotine, though. I really do. Oh, shit. I think we got to hop out of here, boys. I'm getting tired. We'll be going for over an hour. We recap the entire card. I want to get in the lab for the next couple of days. Look at the next card. I'll be dropping the early picks for the next UFC card. So stay tuned for that. You know where to find me on the socials. HI Picks on the IG. Maybe we'll be back here next Sunday for the Sunday service, but we won't have a UFC card to talk about. Maybe we get some breaking news. You never know. We could hop in here for the chat and see what's going on. Appreciate y'all for joining. Dana White Contender Series, Tuesday. Don't miss it. Let's go, boys. Yeah.